Hello and welcome back to live stream number 2. It's been only a few hours since the last one, half a day or so, but if you remember we were trying to clear the supports off here and they were quite difficult. So in this video I'm going to show you how we remove them, because at the time I didn't have a knife. I've got one now. So if we look at this camera up here, you see the problem was this was completely stuck to there solid, and the reason being is when the tool head travels across this way and it changes direction, the flow is not 100% correct here. You're getting too much on the end, so it leaves a bit extra than normal, and that little bit of extra is what is sticking it solid. So we've got to get rid of that without breaking it. Now yesterday I tried it and I didn't want to break this, so I've got two options for you. The first option, if you're printing anything and you can't get the supports off, they should break off like everything else has there, nice and easy. If you get one of these knives are very handy. The reason being they have a long blade, so it can go right underneath the part to cross along. The only problem is they're not very strong, so if they're not very strong you have to be careful because these can snap off. The alternative use is a proper Stanley knife like this one here. You can get the ones where you extend it and it retracts automatically, but I would advise you getting one of these with a lock on it, because the ones that retract automatically can be a nuisance. So let's see if we can remove this, shall we? So I'm just going to put this under here. First of all, I'm going to try the Stanley knife. I'm going to put that on the edge of the table, and I'm just going to try and run this along here, hopefully not cutting my fingers. Oh, and I had a bit of a problem with the microphone on the last stream, and that's because I wasn't speaking into the microphone. So on this stream I'm going to try better. So as you can see, that's very, very tight, and we can hear it cracking. It is going. I don't think I would have got it with that one because it's a lot, very, very tight. I'm going to keep my hands away from the blade in case I slip. Man, that was stiff. That was very stiff. And let me show you what that's done. We've now taken it off, and you can see where the excess hasn't formed properly. On the edges there's just too much material, but we've got that off now, which is good. You can clean that up with a bit of sandpaper if you wanted to, or with plastic. You're better off using a knife and scraping. So we've now got the recess in there all the way around, which we're going to use to cut our desk mat to form a nice shape around it. And a little bit of interest here, I've got another camera here set up, and here we have a microscope, and we're going to use this. If I look at this, for instance, this is a bit of plastic we've just taken off, and if you're really fussy you can see where your problems are, and this is a very, very close up of that section of the print which was stuck together. Here are the layer lines. Each one of them layer lines is 0.2 millimeters in width. That's the height. And this is the good side. This is the side that was on the base of a mat on the 3D printer. The 3D printer that printed this is a belt printer, and this is the surface that was on the belt. So that's basically copied the impression from the belt, and it looks pretty good to me. It was a really good finish, but I'm not impressed with that. And also here's another little bit just in case. Here's the another picture of a print where you can see. So that's what a 3D print looks like. And later on in the channel, as we go forward, we'll be using that and showing some of the prints in detail. So let's get this mounted on the table, shall we? So here we are. We've cut that off. I hope the microphone's sounding good at the moment. It might have been a bit muffled when I leaned forward here, but I apologise about that. So I want to put this on the table, and that's why I'm here today. So let's put it where we want to put it. And if the sound goes a bit iffy, I apologise, but it's too far away. I'm going to make a boom on here. So there'll be a boom that swings around that way and that way. The microphone will be on here. So I can then position this with a microphone here and there. I like explaining things. It's not easy, but you'll see when it all turns out. It's a bit like my cardboard I had. It's a bit like this. That's what I drew on a bit of paper. And that's what we created. From that to that. So I'll do the same with that. It works for me anyway. So let's get it in there and we can get the stream closed because it's a quick one. This is going to go on there to mark it. And the only I have an issue there. And this is a bit of a learning curve for me as well on the stream, so I'm just going to put that there. The sound is still okay, I hope. But now I'm just going to turn that microphone around, get it as far here as possible. And I might have to shout a bit to make sure you hear me. So it's going there. Let's just make sure it's square with the edge of the table, which it is. And I'm going to put a bit of pressure on here because I want to mark where the recessed area is on this tray. And the only way to do that is for me to push down on here, and hopefully that's going to give me a mark on the table. And it has. I'm going to make quite enough. I'm going to make the mark a little bit better. Nothing ever goes right when it's live, especially with me. So excuse me while I just press down in here a little bit harder. And if I turn this camera here, you might be able to get a bit more of a view of what I'm doing. I'm just pressing down on here because I want an impression of that recessed part under there. And hopefully I can get rid of all these tools. While we're waiting for that to these are the parts. I don't know whether I showed you these last time, but they're the parts that are going to go in here. I printed two of them to make sure they're all set okay. And I think they are. I think they're going to be good. Let's see how that now. All I want is a simple mark so I can draw around with a pen. I have it there. There, and it's gone again. That's very, very quick. This is a very good surface. I'm getting there. Once we get a profile of this, I'm going to cut it out. And hopefully we'll be able to continue this. During the week I'm going to print some trays. So there we have it. I've drawn that shape now, has been drawn on this here. And now I'm going to cut it out with a pair of scissors. This could go all terribly wrong. I hope it doesn't. See, we'll see live on the channel. It can be my first live failure. There's got to be a few failures, or not. Got to be a few failures along the way. Might as well happen early in the streams. Any bets on whether it's going to work or not? I shall soon tell you. So we'll cut it out. Hopefully you can hear the nice noise of the cooking. So there, we've cut that out, and this is the shape that was on here, so that should match that near enough. And when I put some double-sided tape on here, and I put this into the gap here, like so. I would say it's not a perfect fit yet. It is there. We need to cut a little bit more off this edge here. So we're nearly there. Nearly on it. Fits perfectly now. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get to that stage so I can put materials in here and make the trays. So if you're new to 3D printing, you've learned something today. I hope I've passed something on to you that you might be able to use. And I shall close the stream there. Thank you for watching. And I was going to see if there's any chat happening on here. And there's no one there at the moment, which is good. It saves me messing about. And I will leave it there and leave you till the next one. Have a good day. Bye for now.